This is the midnight. Let no star delude us, dawn is very far. This is the tempest long foretold, slow to make head, but sure to hold. We're looking at the end of the Conservative Party as a viable electoral force. We've never done so badly in 185 years since the Conservative Party was founded. Indeed, arguably, we've never been in such a precarious situation if you count the Tory prelude and you go back 350 years. Now, I know some people are going to look at that prospect with equanimity, even with joy, but just think for a moment about what the alternative is. The Labour Party is led by somebody who regrets the outcome of the Cold War, who can't see an anti-British tyrant without automatically taking his side, who's happy to welcome the IRA, Hamas, Hezbollah, Chavez, Castro, but who won't talk to the leader of the free world. I had always assumed that it was impossible that the British electorate would pick someone of that character. We're not a country that is extremist by temperament. We eschew radicalism. We want decency and moderation in politics. But now the horrible prospect is rearing up that even though the country rejects such extremism, nonetheless we may end up with a Corbyn-led government. Consider what happened in the recent Peterborough by-election. A town that voted more than 60% to leave, now represented with a Labour MP, returned with less than a third of the public vote because of the way in which the vote was divided among the other parties. Can you be certain that such a thing won't happen at a general election? In other words, that the country may indeed reject Corbynism, that 2/3 or more of us may want nothing to do with it, and yet we could end up with a Corbyn-led government returned with a very small share of the vote. Now, in normal times, a Conservative leader would go to the country and ask for a new mandate. But in the current mood, where people are so angry after the last 3 wasted years, people are taking out their rage not on the parties that have been blocking Brexit, but on the party in office. Which brings us to the terrible Conservative catch-22. We can't face the electorate without having first delivered Brexit, but we may not be able to deliver Brexit without a fresh election. I can only assume that most of the people watching this video have no idea what's heading our way. I'm guessing that most of you were lucky enough to grow up in a country where property rights, constitutional democracy, and the norms of civility in public life were taken for granted. I wasn't. I was brought up under a Chavista government in South America, or a Corbynista government, as we should now call it. And I know exactly what that means in terms of poverty, in terms of the destruction of the customary norms of politics, in terms of the contingency of the rules of office, in terms of the way in which the rules of law are violated. I hope to God that Britain doesn't have to learn this lesson the hard way.